So, we recently posted a video on the worst weapons in Generation 0, and I can't post a video like that without covering the best weapons in game also. So, in this video, we'll be covering the top 5 best weapons you can use within Generation 0, and if you know anything about this game, it's pretty easy which weapons are on this list, so pause the video here and comment down below your predictions for what 5 weapons will make the cut as the best of the best this game has to offer. Alrighty guys, let's jump into it. Now, I know I said in the last video that it's just a list, they weren't in any kind of order of worst to best kind of thing. However, in this video, I'm gonna change things up just a little bit. Now, 4 out of the 5 weapons won't be in order. However, the first weapon we're talking about is being crowned the king of all weapons within Generation 0, and that weapon is, drumroll please, the PM71 light machine gun. Are you shocked? Because I'm not shocked. The PM71 is hands down the best weapon in game by a mile. If you don't have this weapon, you should definitely think about picking up the Eastern European weapons DLC pack, as this gun alone will get you through the entire game without the assistance of any other weapon. It's simply that good. And honestly, just the stock variant is kind of crazy. And then wait until you start thinking about tinkering with weapon augments for the 5 gram variant, and you'll be mowing down everything in your path with ease. The PM71 features a high fire rate mixed with a large magazine capacity and a very easy to manage vertical recoil pattern and a second to none on damage. So what are you waiting for? Get your hands on one of these bad boys ASAP. Now, sadly, as much as I'd like to spend all day talking about the PM71, we do unfortunately have to move on to our next 4 weapons on this list. So next up, we have none other than the RAX-12 shotgun. Now, this one was another no-brainer for me. It's one of the most OP weapons in the game, capable of destroying anything that comes in its way. It features a large magazine capacity for a shotgun of all things, high fire rate, amazing damage, and little to no vertical recoil, making it very easy to use. Now, if you are unaware, the RAX-12, or Spam-12 as I like to call it, came in the Heavy Weapons Pack DLC that released about a year or so ago, and if you love GZ and play it quite often, you would be wise to invest in this pack. It's one of the most fun DLC packs in game. Now, what I love about this weapon is its ability to adapt to any fight. With the correct weapon augmentations, you can easily take down some of the strongest machines in game, like cutting through a stick of butter. It's that good. So that's why it has the spot as number 2. Not gonna lie, next up is probably my favorite weapon in game, and it's pretty obvious why. And you all know what I'm talking about at this point. It's the N144 minigun. I mean, come on, it's a freaking minigun. What's not to like? It shoots 7.62s by default and has a 350 bullet magazine capacity before you boost it. Insane fire rate, and the damage on this bad boy is nuts. Let's face it, it's probably not as high as some of the other guns on this list, but just the sheer fact that it has 350 bullets in its magazine by default before you add a weapon augment to it, and it shoots ridiculously fast. Like the damage is there, man. It's insane. Now I think they did try to nerf it slightly by making you move slower whilst using this weapon equipped, like while having it equipped on your person. However, I don't really care how slow they try and make me walk while using the minigun. I am never going to give this bad boy up. In fact, I kind of want to do a minigun only run through of the game, because that would just be so much fun, so amazing. So if you guys do want to see that on a live stream or something, just let me know in the comments. But seriously guys, the minigun turns any machine into a pile of scrap metal in seconds, and with the correct augmentation can become a seriously overpowered weapon in the right hands. Alright, so this next weapon I kinda didn't care about until I started to use it more and more. After a while, I started to see just how insane this weapon really is, and if you didn't already guess it, I'm talking about the experimental Mauser. Yes, our first experimental on this list, and what else is more fitting for this list than the laser beam of death? Like, if you haven't got your hands on this weapon yet, it is an exclusive drop from the Vulture boss, so be sure to farm that dude in order to get a chance of getting the Mauser to drop. But in all seriousness, this weapon is lethal. If you love the PvG, then throw that shit away and use the Mauser instead, as it's way more effective. Literally like a Death Star in your hand. It's hands down the best sniper rifle in game, capable of dealing massive damage to not only the strongest enemies in game, but also the bosses as well, if used correctly. So yeah, keep this in mind next time you're wanting to deal some serious damage from afar. Last but certainly not least for this list, we have the experimental AL-76. And yes, I know some fuckers call it the AI, but that is just a horrendous name, and King Kilroy has officially renamed it to the AL, so everyone get used to it. But nah, all kidding aside, guys, the AL-76 experimental got released as part of the final update for Generation 0, and probably has one of the most unique and cool abilities out of all the experimental weapons. So it can carry multiple different types of ammunition and can use them with just the click of a button. So for instance, if you want to take out some of the smaller enemies such as runners and hunters, you can use, let's say, 9mm ammo, but wait, there's a tank coming down the road. Well, that's okay, we can just switch to something heavier like 5.56 corrosive rounds to punch through all that armor, and then using heat rounds I can deal significant damage to all the exposed components. There's just so many endless possibilities with this weapon, and I personally feel like it's pretty underrated within the Generation 0 community, so that's why I gave it a spot on this list. So there you have it, folks, the top 5 best weapons within Generation 0. I hope you all enjoyed. Now, did you guys agree with this list? If not, comment down below your top 5 picks for the best weapons in Generation 0, as I'm curious to see all your guys' opinions. And if you'd like to see any other Generation 0 videos, anything related, you know, content videos, whatever you want to see, just let me know again down below by commenting. And yeah, enough waffling from me, everyone. Happy hunting.